Hi, I'm the List Girl, and welcome to my video graphic journal.
Hi, I'm the List Girl.
Hi, I'm the List Girl.
Hey guys, List Girl here.
Hi, I'm the List Girl, and this is my bucket list channel. A place full of discovery, cultural discovery, creative discovery, skill discovery, self-discovery. My list contains 1,000 things I want to do before I die.
With my list, I set out to discover the world, discover new cultures, gain new experiences, new skills. Most importantly, I set out to discover myself.
What would you put on your list if you had one? If you had no limitations and an infinite amount of time and a pocket full of money, how would you change your story? How would you change your life? Today's video, I'm going to be going through my 2025 and also my 2024 Habitica setup. I've had this like this for several months. Now it's February 2025 now. I've had this set up for many months. It's a little bit different, not too different, but a little bit different from other setups that I've had, and so I'm going to go through this new setup. And then I'm going to explain like what I feel is working, what I feel isn't working. There are a few features that I wish Habitica had, and I've always wished that they had, but I don't think I've ever like spoken about those features. And yeah, let's get into it. I make a lot of Habitica videos, but for those of you that are new, let me just quickly explain what Habitica is and how it works. So Habitica is a task manager that gamifies your life. You can use Habitica with a group, or you can play Habitica by yourself. And yes, I said play. It turns your tasks, your habits, and your rituals, or your routines, should I say, into a game. The more tasks, habits, and routines that you complete, the more you defeat bosses and monsters and villains, and it is really fucking cool. It works kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but very different in the sense that it's tasks and it's not there isn't really a dice that's being rolled, but it deals each task, especially depending on what color they are, each task or like each thing that you have to tick off or keep track of causes damage to a boss if you're taking part in the quests. There are so many quests. Habitica also has pets, it has challenges, so many different things. It has a shop that you can buy equipment to protect yourself against villains so that they don't deal that much damage towards you. If you receive damage, you do have a life bar which goes down, and once it gets to 0, your level goes down by 1. There are also what are they called? There are also achievements, and one of them that I'm working on, which is why my level is at 89 and not like 100 and something, because I've been using Habitica for years. One of the achievements is to go through all 4 of the different character types, or what are they called? I forget the word, but there is warrior, rogue, healer, and mage. They all have different abilities, skill sets, and equipment as well. I have worked my way through the other 3 up to 100, and now I'm gonna soon reach 100 in warrior, but then I think I'm going to stay in warrior. I'm either going to stay in warrior or maybe go back to rogue, because I really enjoyed rogue. I feel like rogue is probably one of my favorite character types, but anyways, and now I have to work my way up from 0 again. There is so much you can do with this, so let us start with habits. Habits is where you keep your habits. I have as you can see, I'm very bad at this first one, but because the colours signify how well you're doing in something and how badly you're doing in something. If it's red, it means that you're doing terribly. If it's blue, it means blue or turquoise, because there's blue here in these dailies, but there's like a turquoise-ish, bluish green here on the drink 8 cups. And this turquoise blue means that you're like doing absolutely perfect. If you're on blue, it means that you're doing extremely well. Green is you're doing good. Orange is you could do a lot better, and red is like this is terrible. Like, you need to work on this. The to-dos, however, like they always are either red or orange. Orange means that you've just created recently a task, but you're slowly working through it. They never turn blue or green, at least to my knowledge. I've never seen a blue or green one. And over time they turn red. But it just means that what I'm about to say only works for to-dos. By the way, dailies and habits, it's different. But in to-dos, the redder your tasks are, kind of symbolizes like the longer you're working on it. And so if you check off a red task in to-dos, you actually achieve way more hit points and coins and loot as well. However, in dailies and habits, it's different. The redder they are, the more hit points you will receive, or the less amount of hit points you will deal to the villain, the monster, whatever. I have smoke no more than 10 cigarettes per day, drink 8 cups of water per day, eat at least 5 vegetables per day, focus on one thing at a time. I'm very bad at like multitasking. Like, I do it all the time, but I need to like focus on one thing at a time. Journaling, read 5 pages per day, eat some fruit, and walk the dog. I've got a few of these set up to like weekly. They're at zeros, but as you can see, but that's because it's like Tuesday and it was a new week, so kind of just restarted itself. The what are they called? Like continuous, like it keeps track of how many days in a row, streaks. It keeps track of your streaks here in the corner on the counter. A lot of these are set up to weekly, so they reset at the start of a new week. And yesterday I didn't walk Oliver because my brother walked him, so the dog is being walked. Don't worry about that. As you can see, there are some habits that I really need to work on. But they're orange, which means that I do them, I just don't do them as frequently as I probably should. And red means that I'm doing terribly, but I really am trying. I'm trying. Smoking is hard, and I'm going very, very slowly, I've decided. But yeah, that one definitely needs a lot of work. And so you can, when you create a habit, you can make it so that it has 2 buttons, either a positive or a negative, or you can have them both on. If you hit positive, it means that you've done it. If you hit negative, it means that you haven't, or that you did the wrong thing. So like, for example, if I had here, instead of just eat some fruit, I had eat some fruit is like a good thing, then I'd hit the plus. But if I had on the end of this like eat some fruit / eat some candy, every time I'd eat some fruit I'd hit the plus, which means I'm doing good, but every time I'd eat some candy I'd hit the negative, which means that I didn't do so good that day, that week, if that makes sense. And that's how I've got my habits set up. A lot of these tasks don't really have like a negative result. The only one really that does is the smoking. less, because, and I hit this button every time I have a cigarette, so just to like on the counter, this one updates daily, or resets every day, just so that I can keep track of how many I've smoked, which is also why it's so red. There have been days that I have been able to keep it to just 10, but because it's so red every time I hit the plus button, it doesn't really do so much, because I hit the negative button so much, keeping track of every single cigarette that I smoke. And that just deals negative damage to my character, but also negative damage to my actual self. In my dailies, I've got my morning routine, and then I've got some tasks that I do every single day, and then my night routine. I've explained this so many times, but for you newcomers, I have go to the toilet on my morning routine because I have IBS, and I know for myself, I'm 31 now and I've had it since I was 14, and I know that if I go a day without going to the bathroom, it means that I'm about to have like a trigger, or I'm about to have a bout of IBS, and things are going to get really bad and kind of painful. So I just have that there to just like tick off as I've gone today, so I know that I'll be okay today and potentially tomorrow as well. It's kind of just like a little note, like I'm okay, like I'm not gonna have any IBS issues today, or at least I shouldn't, because I've been able to go. So it's kind of just a long-term disability issue thing that I'm working with, and I've just put it in my dailies because it is something that being something that affects me like constantly, I unfortunately have to have reminders for myself, or like notes, or track this kind of thing. Take my medication, have my morning beverage has been had. I've actually had 2 of these. Sometimes I have 3 and then I'm like buzzing and I'm like, oh god. But I'm addicted to coffee. I fucking love coffee. I can't live without coffee. I did actually live without coffee for a majority of my life because I was raised Mormon. I'm not part of that cult anymore. I left it like a good decade ago, probably even more. Not going to be talking about that. But I also did actually quit coffee for like 5 years, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because of my IBS. It got so bad that I was like, I need to quit like stimulants and stuff. And back then I had also quit smoking for 5 years as well, but I was just trying to heal my gut, because my IBS was quite bad back then. Make my bed, made, and a quick shower. That's more so a reminder than anything. I take a shower every morning. I've ticked that off. I only didn't tick it because I wanted to show you guys. Write something. I try to write every morning. I tend to wake up between 5 and 7 every day, so that I can have a good chunk of time to go through my morning routine, go slow, have a slow morning before I have to go to work or do work stuff, because I work hybrid, sometimes at home, sometimes in store, or at my boss's office. So I like to have a long period of time where I can have a slow, peaceful morning, and go through my routine at like my own pace. I hate rushed mornings. It just makes me feel like I'm about to have a shitty day, and it just makes me like start the day like anxious, you know. So slow mornings is the way to go for me. And every morning I try to write something, some poetry for my anthology, or work on a short story that I work on, or like a novel that I might be working on, or some blog posts for my website. I do write a lot, and I am a writer, so I'm always trying to write, and I've got 4 books published right now. I'm working on the 5th and the 6th book, and kind of the 7th as well. The 5th is a horror book. I write mostly horror. It's a horror sci-fi And then during this summer, I'm also currently working on a poetry anthology, and I'm going to attempt to publish it this summer too. So a lot of stuff's coming out this year. So it's there because I try to force myself to write every day. And as you can see, I'm doing so I can do a lot better, or I could be doing a lot better, but there we go. Have a healthy lunch, which includes at least 3 vegetables. I'm doing really good at. Walk Oliver, also doing fantastic at that. Self-care, I try to do at least 1 or 2 self-care things every day for my own mental health, as well as to not burn myself out or to prevent meltdowns, as I am autistic, and so I feel like it's important for everybody to do something to take care of themselves at least once a day, because if you don't, then your mental health is going to suffer, your day isn't gonna be so good, your week isn't going to be so good. I prioritize self-care like my life depends on it, because it does depend on it, basically. And if I turn it into a task because I'm so like task oriented, or like productivity oriented, it just makes my life better. Although a lot of people tend to say that like if something feels like a chore, it's not really good, especially when it comes to self-care. If self-care feels like a chore, it probably doesn't work as well, but I try not to think about that. And then there's my night routine. Brush my teeth, wipe my face, take my melatonin. Very good. This one is super tasty, by the way. I prefer the drops instead of the gummies because they don't leave me so groggy in the morning. And also then check tomorrow's task to-do list. And the habits and the dailies haven't really changed much over the past couple of years, but the changes that have occurred mostly are in my to-dos, because I use my to-dos as like my goals for the year. I don't really keep tasks or to-dos in there. That's all in my bullet journal. It's where I keep that, but my goals for the year are all kept in my to-dos. And I've kind of tried to keep to, which is something that's also new, is to keep to like the gamification type of thing that Habitica usually tries to set us up for. And so instead of calling them my goals, I've called them my year's expeditions. And then I've kind of and then I've broken them down. I have a lot of goals this year, and one of them is in fact locked until I have completed another goal. So I'm not allowed to go anywhere near that goal because I really want to until I have completed another goal. But let me break this down. So I want to complete 15 bucket list goals this year. Last year I think I completed 12, and so this year I wanted to complete 15. But saying that, I only worked on or like tried to complete stuff in like the final half of the year last year, so I could probably do much more starting this year, as already going into like I want to complete more bucket list goals this year, so I could probably do a lot more, but just in case, I've got just 15 up there. If you're interested in seeing what is on my bucket list, I will link it in the description below. It's got 1,000 things on there that I want to do before I die, because at the end of the day we don't know when that's going to happen, and so I want to live my life to the fullest, and so this is really important to me. I don't like to waste my time in life. Read 25 books. I've already completed 5. 4 were audio books, 1 was a paperback. No, actually 1 was a ebook. I've already got the books, my to be read pile, chosen and written up here. Then I want to create 12 videos about autism on my YouTube channel. I've already completed 4. I've got some planned out, and then a few that are yet to be filled out. I haven't had that many ideas in terms of videos. In terms of creativity for videos this year, I've felt a bit like blocked. I've got creativity for everything else, but I think maybe it's the fact that I've been using up a lot of my creativity for writing and for clay molding, that I don't really have like creative mental capacity for videos, or as much as I tend to anyways. Be prolific. I would like to, which is 3 goals in one, publish 5 books this year, two of which are already almost finished. Make a neurospicy friendly diary, possibly a Filofax printable as well, or turning it into a Filofax printable as well. But I would like to make a journal / diary for my fellow neurodivergents, my autistics, my ADHDers. Yep. And then I would like to have my books translated into Portuguese, because I am Portuguese. I have moved back to Portugal. I spent like 20 years or so in the UK because my parents moved there when I was really young. But I've moved back to Portugal, and so I would like to have my books translated. I don't know where to go, what to do that. I'm considering maybe like asking ChatGPT for my help with translation, but then I don't want to have my work like copied, like stolen. So I don't know. But like, I'm poor, so like I can't pay for someone to translate my books unless I do it myself, but my Portuguese isn't that great, so it's a bit of a struggle, but I know I can do it, and I'm gonna do it this year. Upload 30 gameplays to my second channel on YouTube, which is my nerdy like gaming channel. Get my astrological chart read. I'm very into astrology, don't come for me. And it's a little bit personal, because you can see what I want to have or why I want to have my chart read, but there we go. Financial independence. So there are several things on here. 4 goals broken down into one, or like 4 goals morphed into one. Yeah, 4 bingo goals, because I also made a bingo card of all of these goals. I saw people doing it on TikTok. I thought it would be really fun to give it a try. Make 1,000 euros a month. Get a financial raise at work. Save 1,500 for emergencies, and donate 500 euros to my parents for their homestead house building, or house build. Collect. It's 4 goals in one. I've already completed one of these. Expand my personal library by 20 books. Last week I brought 2 new books. Can't wait for them to arrive. Expand my board game collection by 5 more games. I have not brought any board games this year. Last year we brought so many new board games, and I'm so happy. Create 5 new clay pieces. I've actually created like, I don't know, 10, maybe 12 this year already, and it's only just started February, so. And then add 5 new plants to my collection, and I've already added 2, so I'm like 3 more away from completing that goal this year as well. Start learning to drive now. This one's kind of complicated, because before I even get there, I need to check if I can even drive, because I do suffer from dissociation, which is partly from my autism, but also I suffer from PTSD because of reasons, and so disassociation might make it difficult or dangerous for me to drive, so I feel like I might not be able to, but I would like to, and so I need to go in and like maybe take a test or something to see how bad it is, to see if it's possible or not before that. So that might be at the end of the year, but I would like to try. Okay, this one is kind of just a fun one. I didn't go to the beach at all last year, even though I live like 15 minutes away from the beach, but I last year didn't go at all. And so this year I'd like to go at least 5 times. So that's why that's there. To you know, in Portugal we say desfrutar, but I don't know I don't know that terminology in English, or I've forgotten anyways. Like to enjoy the blessing that I have of living so close to the beach, because I didn't used to before. Back in England anyways. Buy my own laptop, pretty straightforward. And then finally, the one that I can't go anywhere near until I've unlocked my financial independence goal is to get a puppy. Adopt a puppy. I really want a puppy. Yeah, I'm not allowed to go anywhere near that one until I'm slightly more financially stable. But I'm getting there. I'm very much getting there. So, and then there's also, I've added a lot of, once I've done something, or like once I've completed certain goals, certain like dailies, because there's way more dailies in here that I haven't gone through yet, I can earn or give myself a certain amount of coins, because I'm very much like reward oriented, so I can reward myself if I've done, and that's where like a lot of my discipline has to come in to place, because, or like where I need to work on my discipline, because I can't treat myself if I don't have enough coins for it. Like that's, like I draw the line, like I can't do certain things unless I have, for example, I've got 1,000, almost 500 coins, and last week I bought 2 books that I did not check off because I wanted to have that ability during this video to show you how that works. That's how that works. So that's something new as well. I'm working more on my reward system to motivate me to get more stuff done and to be more productive. And so I've added a lot more, like once I've completed something or made progress in a goal, then I can earn 250 new coins, or 500 new coins, 150 coins. It really depends on like the difficulty of the task or the goal. That is it. So I've kind of added an extra gamification system to my setup, which I didn't have before. So that is it. That is my setup for 2025. Things that are working, I feel, are the new reward system that I came up with, because it keeps me far more motivated knowing that I can't treat myself to certain things unless I've completed or finished certain things to earn enough coins to purchase that reward for myself. And that keeps me really disciplined, it keeps me motivated, and it keeps me productive. Things that I wish Habitica had. I wish that the task list was way more, that it had a separate goals list, but the task list had way more features than it has, apart from the main task and then breaking down the tasks. I feel like it could probably like do with like maybe like a bar system, or like a circular progress, like a progress bar, to see how far you've gone instead of just the numbers, like 5 out of 29 tasks in this goal has been completed. Like to have like a bar chart to see the progress would be very motivating for me. I don't know if it would be for other people, so that would be really cool. So you got the task, and then you got the subtasks, but I also feel like it would be really awesome if there could be sub-tasks, so I could break the tasks down even further, because breaking them down once sometimes isn't enough. Like breaking those tasks down even more would also be really useful. Instead of seeing the tags that we put on tasks and habits and so forth just showing up as a little tag like this that you have to hover over, I feel like it would be really useful if the tags themselves appeared like underneath, instead of having this little tag and then hovering over it and telling you what those tags are, if those tags were already visible so that I could see like this is a 30-minute task because I've given it that tag, seeing it there immediately, or seeing how much, because I created a high and low energy tasks tag, it'd be very useful to see those like immediately as well, if that makes sense. It would also be kind of cool if there would be an ability to add like a button to the to-dos, where you can set up that button to give you a certain amount of coins, so that you could just hit it and you could receive those coins instead of going into settings and having to edit the values of the coins, because that's what I have to do whenever I complete a task. I'm like, oh, I earn 500 coins now, so I need to go into settings and change the value in the coin system. Those are just a few things that I feel that Habitica could really do with. Trying to remember if there was anything else. I should have written a list, but I think that's everything for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button below. If you learned anything new, if you yourself use Habitica, why not leave in the comments why you enjoy it, why you use it, because I'd really like to know. And I hope you all have a wonderful week.